Merry Christmas, and today what we want to do is get back out here on Bassmaster Fishing 2022, and what we're going to do is go after some giant muskie. Now, we were out here after some muskie before, but unfortunately, a lot of you guys were saying that that muskie wasn't a trophy, and he wasn't a trophy, but he was a 50-incher. I mean, a 50-inch, 29-pound muskie is a trophy in my books, because a 50-incher, that's a pretty tough fish. That's a once-in-a-lifetime fish right there you're talking about. But anyways, today we're going to get back out here and we're going to actually try and officially catch a trophy muskie. Alright, so as we're coming to a nice little coast here, I'm going to show you the location that we're going to be fishing today. We're going to be on the very west end of the map over here, and we're going to be fishing right along the edge of these buoys here. So what we're going to be doing is casting out in the deep, throwing a silver spoon, an 8-inch gizzard spoon, and it's going to be fluttering over here. And a lot of times what's going to happen is the sun's going to hit it, it's going to reflect, and it's going to get the attention of a giant muskie. Alright, so what we want to do is get just a touch closer here. We're going to head out right about here, and from this point on we're going to see a bunch of bait fish and kind of smaller to medium sized fish. And then once you get just a little bit further, that's when you're going to find the big boys. Just because you know there's fish there doesn't mean that they're going to be right next to you, so you really want to have them on your fish finder. Otherwise, you're just going to be thrown out there for nothing pretty much. There we go. Now we're starting to get to a decent sized fish right there. That's a pretty good one. And once you get, ooh, here we go. Now we're getting a couple of fish. Once you start marking a couple of big fish like that, that means you're on to the big fish. Well, the big muskie, I should say. All right, so let's give her a cast out there and see if we can't get one. And we'll let it drop down. Let's see, it's about 35 feet here. So we'll let it drop down about 15, maybe 20 feet, and then we'll start working it in. Man, it is deep here. Look at how dark and deep it is down here. Ooh. There's a big old fish down here somewhere, though. Oh, there's definitely a big fish down here. Oh, there he is! Oh, he pounded it right at the last second, right next to the boat. Right next to the boat. Oh, man. It's basically like in real life if we were doing a figure eight, right? And he just pounded it right next to the surface of the water. That's exactly what just happened there. I don't even know if it was a northern or a muskie, to be honest, but either way, it was a good fish. A real good fish. All right. Not a bad way to start off this Christmas day. Big old fish. He's not fighting too terribly much, but at the same time, he's not really trying too hard either. A lot of times when you get a big fish, they don't try that hard right away until they get ready. That's a giant northern. That's a 40-incher, I bet. A 38-inch, 20-pound northern pike. Another really cool giant northern. Now that right there is huge. I mean, if you're talking close to 40 inches for a northern, that's a beautiful fish. I had a feeling it might be a northern. I wasn't 100% sure, but I had a pretty good feeling it might be. Because I think what happened is it's the same fish that we saw maybe about 10 seconds before that was kind of cruising off in the opposite direction. Alright guys, well we definitely know there's some big fish down here. Not only that, we know there's for sure at least one or two muskie. Because I saw them the last cast that we just took. Again, there's going to be a ton of bait fish. And man, the fact that that fish hit it at the very last second, we had I think like 7 yards left to go to reel in our lure, and it would have been in the boat, and he just pounded it. Man, I can relate to that moment so many times. I'm out there muskie fishing and I'm throwing a big bucktail or a rissotail, and you know, you're casting, and you get close to the boat, and all of a sudden you're like, all right, I'm gonna get ready, reel it in and cast again. And right during that moment, they just slam it and just about take the rod right out of your hands. And that moment there is just priceless. It's just an amazing moment, and it's just so cool. So we got a big fish marked here on the fish finder, but it's quite a ways up. There's a small bass right there. So I gotta reel up a little bit here. We were down a bit too deep. But basically right now we're just trying to flutter the spoon and get it to reflect off that sun. Oh, holy! Oh, that's a muskie. That's a big muskie. Oh man, that's a big muskie. There's no way I'm trying to land this fish right now. Oh man, that's a big fish. He's definitely a regular muskie, and he's got kind of like that green tint where you can tell he lives deep down in the water. He's not one of those that lives right on top. He's one of those deep, deep fish. Oh boy, he's a deep fish. Look at him go. I can't even budge this thing. Now, last time I talked too much and we accidentally lost a few really big fish because of it. So this time, guys, I'm sorry to tell you, but I am not gonna, no! Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not gonna talk too much this time. Because you really gotta finesse these fish. If you mess around too much, then they're gone. Oh, look at the big old dorsal fin coming up. Oh my god, this is a giant fish, guys. Holy, this is a giant. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did you just see that? Did you just see that? He is running like crazy. I had him right next to the boat. And then he just started hauling. Okay guys, this is getting serious. We've had this fish on for over 10 minutes now, and we've yet to really see how big this fish is. He's right on top of the water there. Come on, get him in, get him in, get him in. Here he comes, here he comes. No, 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 no. Every time he gets close, he just takes a run for it, and he's gone. Look at him go. Oh man. We got a long ways to go to gain ground on this fish. He is out there. I can't even slow this thing down. I bet this is a 55-incher. I bet this is a giant trophy muskie. This might be our biggest fish of all time. Oh, look at that! Did you see that thing? Did you see that thing? What did we catch? Oh my god! A 61-incher! A 61-incher! Okay. I don't care what anybody says. A 47-pound, 61-inch muskie is a giant, and it's definitely a trophy muskie. A 61-incher, almost 50 pounds. Oh, that's huge. Look at the color on it, though. It looks kind of white, like a lightish color. Man, that is awesome. Oh, guarantee that thing would get mounted and be put right up on the wall. What an incredible fish. By far, our biggest muskie of all time right there. By far. But this fish is so big that honestly, I wouldn't even want to zoom in any more than this right here. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Just a giant trophy muskie on Christmas Day. And yes, it's a trophy, okay? I'm calling it a trophy. I think the game got this messed up. There's no way that is not a trophy. Anybody that's muskie fished before, let me know if a 61-inch muskie that weighs almost 50 pounds is a trophy. Because it is in my books, 100%. Oh man, I can't believe we caught that. Guess what, guys? We're using 40-pound tests right now with spider wire, and this fish weighed almost 7 pounds more than what our maximum tension is for the line. So he could have easily busted our line, and that's why he fought so hard. Hold up, look at all the big fish down here, guys. We gotta drop down deeper. How do I drop down deeper? I don't think I can. All right. Oh, that's a giant northern. That's a trophy. Oh my god, that's a giant northern pike. Oh, I don't know what we got here. I don't know what we got. I couldn't tell if it was a muskie or northern or what. But all I know is if it's that same northern, then it's definitely a trophy. I really couldn't tell you what it was though, because we're watching that big northern and another fish came out of nowhere and hit it. If I could get this fish in right away, I would love to. But something tells me it's going to be another heck of a long fight. Oh man, it never gets old. Catching these big old musky and northern pike like this never gets old. It is so much fun. It's so exhilarating and just incredible at the same time. Come on, get him in, get him in, get him in, get him in. Get him in right there, get him in. Oh, we got him. Yeah, he's a muskie, but he's a tiger muskie, I think. No, just a regular muskie. So, wow, it's so cool the different variants of these muskie here. As you saw, the giant 61 incher we caught before was kind of like all white colored, and then this thing's like all spotted. It looks similar to a northern, but yet it's a muskie. So we know there's for sure still a giant northern out here, and I really want to get it, but it was like honestly right underneath our boat. So I'm just gonna cast a little ways out there and let it sink all the way down to the bottom, because that's where all those big fish were, including that massive northern that was probably somewhere around 48, maybe even 50 inches. Oh my God, can you imagine if we caught a 50-inch northern pike out here? If we did, I can guarantee you it'd be a trophy. Yeah, that's kind of the only problem about this is the fact that it's so dark down here. You can't really see the fish coming from a long ways away. All of a sudden they're just there. So they can see you, but you can't see them. In a sense. They can see the spoon. Sparkling. Ooh, what is that? Another crappie. Alright, so apparently that didn't really work out too great. Let's get it up in, but wait a second. Oh, we got him! Oh, always wait. I think that's our big northern. I think that's the big northern that we had last time. He wanted to hit it, but he didn't. Oh, yeah, that's a giant fish. That should be a 46 or 48 inch northern pike right there. One thing I did notice though is that oh, just like that. I mean, I barely let go for too long and we almost lost that fish. The coho salmon though, you really can't lose them. Like, I won't even reel and those fish will not come off. I was out here a couple days ago and I had one on for like 20 minutes and I never even reeled. I never even set the hook. And it just stayed on the entire time. Finally, I'm like, well, I better reel it in. And it was a big one. But this is a giant northern pike. I believe this should be our biggest northern of all time. Let's get him in. There he is. There he is. What's he gonna be? A 52 incher. A 52-inch northern pike? I don't know who is in charge of like the scoring system or the size on these fish, but who in their right mind wouldn't call a 52-inch, 36-pound northern pike a trophy? Because it's definitely a trophy. Wow, that thing is huge. A 52-inch northern pike. Well, let's get back out there and try and catch one of those big muskie now. We know they're out here. We definitely know they're out here. Let's try and cast out here a little further this time. These ones look like they're maybe 2 feet off the bottom. Oh, seriously? A big old drum hit it. Okay, good. I'm glad he got off. I'm like, really? It was going perfect. And then this little stupid drum hit it. There we go. Right down to the bottom. There's a muskie. A small one though. And and stop. Oh, a crappie hit it. A little tiny crappie hit it. Do you see that thing? Really? I wonder if it's the rare one though. I wonder if we got that rare looking crappie. No, it's not. It's not the rare. One thing I did notice though is that if you come out here past around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they're gonna stop biting. And it's very similar in real life as well. You want to get out there early in the morning, you know, 6 o'clock, start fishing until around 10:30, 11, and then somewhere around noon, 1 o'clock, they're already kind of calmed down and they're not as hungry as they used to be. But like I was saying before, a lot of times once it gets too late in the day, the fish just stop biting. So you can cast over them 100 times and they're not going to hit it. They're basically just going to sit. What the heck was that? Oh, it was a coho. I really don't want to catch a coho. But what's going to happen is you'll cast over the top of them and they'll just sit there and watch the bait swim right over the top. I really don't want to catch that. Oh, imagine if I caught it right away. Come on, let me catch it. Let me catch it. Dang it. Come on. I got this. There we go. What did we catch? It's a coho, 23 pounder, 30 incher. All right, so now since it's later on in the day, we're gonna have to change the time and then come back here because it's really not gonna pay to stay here too much longer. Well, it's the next day now and I was actually heading back to our muskie spot here, but I started marking a bunch of big fish. So I thought we better try this out and find out what they might be. Let's find out what we got below us. And I think it actually might be a little bit more clear here so we can see. Ooh, what is that? That's a big old bass right there. I believe it might be a smallmouth, to be honest. Walleye there. Oh, that walleye was hungry. That walleye was hungry. I couldn't tell how big he was, but probably like a 26 or 28 incher. Good sized one. Yeah, I mean, he's fighting on a muskie rod, so he's definitely not a little one. Yeah, maybe like a 28. Just gotta adjust this a little bit here. Yeah, he's got a good fight to him. How big is he? 26. I should have said 28 because 28 is what he is. A 28 incher and a 10-pound walleye. Oh, there's the muskie. There's the muskie right there, right there. Come on, come on. He's facing the wrong direction. Oh, I think he sees it. He sees it. Come on, come on. He was not interested. All right, time to go back to our ultimate muskie spot because this spot here is not really producing. I don't know, they just don't want to hit here. It doesn't really make sense. We're throwing right over the top of them. They're just not interested. Maybe because it's shallower here, they get too much bait fish, so they're always full. Whereas out in the deep, they don't get as much bait, so when they get an opportunity, they don't turn it down. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're going to try out this spot here. I'm marking big fish all around. This time we're a little bit further out. Last time we were up in there more towards those buoys. Right now I'm marking fish back here. So I want to cast out this direction once and find out what's all over here. We're still looking pretty deep. We're looking at about 37 feet deep here. we go. There we go. First cast back in the new spot. And we got a hit. Muskie on, baby. Are you guys seeing what's happening right now? I don't know if you didn't notice or not, but I didn't say anything. What is happening? What is happening? Okay, what is happening? We're gonna run out of line. We're gonna run out of line. Oh my god, we're running out of line. How big is this fish? I gotta figure out a way to get this thing over there, guys. I don't know how big this fish is, but it's acting pretty big. And it just pulled out 111 yards of line. Are you kidding me? I'm trying to get this troll motor moving. Oh, it's not moving. Of course, it's gonna be messing around on me right now. We're gonna run out of line. We are absolutely gonna run out of line, and I'm probably gonna cry. Just go forward, boat. That's it. That's all you gotta do is go forward. It's not that hard. This is kind of a glitch that happens, and your troll motor just keeps spinning in a circle. Nope, definitely going straight. I am definitely going straight. This fish must be a freaking giant. It must be a giant. I couldn't really see it very good. Yeah, I could tell it was a muskie, but I can't gain any ground on this thing. I turned the drag up all the way already. So there's nothing I can do at this point. And of course our boat is not... Kind of seems like it's starting to move now. Is it moving? I honestly don't even know like what to say at this point, other than holy, this is a big fish. I'm trying all I can do, guys, to get this troll motor to move. I'm really trying all I can, and it's not working. So that's one problem. And the other problem, that this fish is just friggin' huge. Hold on, we're gaining some ground finally. Just go forward. No, not sideways, forward. Whoa, 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 what's happening? All right. So usually when you get a big fish on like this, if you have a trolling motor, what you do is you go in the direction of the fish. And if it's a huge fish and you don't have a trolling motor, and you start the motor up and drive that direction, because otherwise he's gonna gain a ton of ground on you, and you really need to try and get it back as soon as possible. Seriously, this is not the time to have this kind of a bug right now. I'm done. This troll motor's not working, and it's really pissing me off right now. Okay, if the troll motor isn't gonna work, then at least let the fish pull us over there, because that would happen. If you have strong enough line, the fish will eventually pull the boat over there, unless I have the anchor out, which I guarantee I don't have the anchor out, because why would I? I'm out here drifting right now. Why is that red thing flashing? Is my drag broken? Dude, I think my drag is broken. I think my drag's broken. No, it's still working. I just really wish I knew like what I could do at this point to try and get closer to this fish. He literally has 200 yards of line out on us right now. 200 yards. Do you realize that? Son of a... God damn! Do you realize how big that fish probably was? That sucker just pulled out 205 yards of line. Like it wasn't even there. I couldn't even budge it. I absolutely could not budge that fish. I thought my reel was broken. The drag was busted. I just couldn't budge that fish. There was nothing I could do. Well guys, I think that's gonna be it. We tried many times to get that giant fish that got off, which I would have to assume that it's probably like a 60 or 70 pound fish, to be honest. I couldn't imagine it's any smaller than that. The fact that he just ripped out line like crazy, that was it. We ran out of line and he freaking busted the reel in half or something. I don't know, he got off. Anyways, I'm honestly a little bit scared to try and hook into another fish that big. Because we're using 50-pound tests, we have a musky rod here, and I couldn't even budge that thing. Unless it's the reel? Maybe our reel's not good enough for this, but like, we just caught a 50-pounder. Yeah, it fought a little bit, but not like that. So this is what you guys don't see when I'm editing the videos. This is what happens. How much time you have to invest to be able to find a good spot. Finally! I believe it's a decent northern pike. Now, I just cast it about 15 times in a row and never got a single hit. And all of a sudden we got a northern pike hitting it right next to the boat. There he is. Another 49 incher probably. 40 incher, 17 pounder. Oh, I'll take that. Pass on. Largemouth. I believe it should be a decent one as well. Hook strained. What the heck? Is this bass stronger than the muskie? Holy. That's interesting. Okay, something tells me this fish is a little bit bigger than what we think. It looks like a giant. Yeah, it's a giant. Oh my god, it's a giant.
Creepers, check out the peepers on that swamp donkey.
So that right there is our first ever trophy largemouth bass. And we caught him on a big old 8-inch gizzard spoon while fishing for muskie. So we got our first trophy largemouth bass. Oh my god! There's our boat right there. And I thought I saw a muskie down there, but I wasn't sure. And all of a sudden now he just came and made a pass for our bait. And it's a giant. We're in a very similar spot to where we lost that giant fish before. So I was hoping we might get lucky enough to get him to come back and hit. Oh, there we go! Where'd he come from? Where'd he come from? He came out of nowhere. Finally. First time we've gotten a big muskie on in a long time, besides the last one that we lost quite a while ago. Oh, we got a runner. We got a runner, guys. Oh boy, we got another runner. Alright, so we gotta watch this drag really close this time. When he runs, I want to turn it down to about 26. And then when he slows down, I want to turn it back to about 29. And I'm also trying to get the trolling motor to work in our favor here. Ooh. So unlike other fishing games, you literally have to kind of hold your hand on the reel button the whole time. It's just a matter of adjusting your drag. Because once you take your finger off that reel button, you could spit the hook instantly. It happens so fast. So yeah, basically that's what we're doing. We're just going between 30 and about 26 on the drag here. We're keeping it at reel speed 5. And I mean, we're doing all right. He's definitely not 210 yards away like that last fish was, I'll tell you that. So as long as he's less than 100 yards, I'm pretty content with that, guys. We're about to have him at less than 50 yards for the first time in over 10 minutes now. 58, 57. Now he's back to 60. You really got to watch that drag. Oh my god, I think he's coming in. I think he's coming in, guys. Let's get ready. He's less than 30 yards away, coming in. 19, 20. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up a little bit. All right, here we go. Fish on, 20 yards away. And closing. 19, 18. Here he comes, here he comes. Here comes a giant fish, guys. Oh, that's huge. I think it's a tiger muskie. It's a giant! It's a tiger muskie! It's our first trophy, guys! Our first trophy tiger muskie! Our first trophy muskie at that, but a 46-inch trophy tiger muskie, and he weighed 35 pounds! 35 pound, 6-ounce trophy tiger muskie! Look at the size of that fish! Holy, that fish was something else! Man, he was pulling us all over the place. And that kind of makes me think that that last fish that we did lose was at least this big, if not bigger. A 35-pound trophy tiger muskie. Man, that was a lot of work to try and get an official trophy muskie, but it was definitely worth it. But like I was saying before, when we get these big fish on, I can't talk as much because I really got to focus on trying not to lose these fish. Because it's not just like fishing in real life where you can kind of instinctively, you know, change what you need to change. Here, it's like certain buttons, and if you hit the wrong button, then that fish is going to be gone. You know, in real life, if I have a 46-inch trophy muskie on, or a trophy tiger muskie, which my biggest tiger muskie ever was a 43-incher, so that was huge too. But we let it go. Anyways, what you do is you just tighten the drag up a little bit, and then when he runs, you can back it down a little bit. But once you get it set to a certain spot, you really don't need to mess with the drag too much. Well, here, you really need to watch that drag. You really need to watch that drag. But honestly, it's so strange because that last fish just kept on hauling. No matter what I did to the drag, it's like it never changed the effect on that fish. It just kept on going. And this fish here, I could adjust the drag and eventually it would stop and come back in a little bit and then run. And then come back in and then run. Which is supposed to happen. But that last fish, he just kept on running. So I don't know if we hooked into a 7-foot 6-inch long alligator gar out here or what. But I honestly couldn't tell you what happened. Nonetheless, I am truly grateful and blessed to be able to have this incredible fish on Christmas. A trophy tiger muskie, and we finally did it, guys. We finally did it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this awesome day on Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. So after that incredible day out there on the St. Lawrence River catching some just monster muskies, I thought we'd head out here to Rancho and take down a giant whitetail buck here. Well, it's not a whitetail, but that is a beautiful bobcat 250 yards away, and we happen to have the 223. And we just smoked him. He's going down. All right, here's our nice bobcat laying down right over here. And he's gonna be a 25.3 gold. He's a gray bobcat. Check that out. That is awesome. I do believe this is the bobcat that you guys were talking about. A lot of you guys were saying that there was an albino bobcat during one of our hunts, and I think this is what you were talking about. This is a gray gold bobcat. We made a right lung shot at 240 yards. What a perfect shot. Tucked it in there right behind that front shoulder at about 250 yards. Well, it's definitely not a giant, but we got a swimmer out here, and swimmers are very rare. The fact that he's in the water is pretty cool. So we're gonna go for about a 300-yard shot in the water here. And even though we dropped him, like I said, he's still in the water, so he's gonna float all the way over to us, which is gonna be pretty cool. There we go, guys. We found our big whitetail buck that we've been after this whole time. There he is out there, 320 yards away, perfectly broadside, and he's got an impressive rack on him right on top of his head. So let's see if we can't get on him here and take the shot. Smoked him. And we dropped him. 320 yards. All right, so here's our first buck that we took, and he's swimming in the water. Double lugged him at 289 yards. Perfect shot right on him. 179. He's actually not quite as small as what I thought. I thought he was going to be quite a bit smaller than that buck there, but not a bad size one. Now we got to get all the way over there and grab our beautiful buck that we smoked at 330 yards. I believe the buck that we shot was right on the backside of this hill here. I'm pretty sure he was right here. Yep, right here, as a matter of fact. There he lays. He was actually so far out that I really couldn't tell how big he was, but all I knew was that he was a big buck. And yeah, he is definitely a big old whitetail buck. Look at the beautiful rack on him. All right, well, let's pick him up. And that is going to be a 215 gold. We made a double lung stomach shot at 347 yards out with a 303 bolt action rifle. So I know I told you guys that the last buck we were looking for is the biggest one, but actually this one right here is the one that we were looking for. That right there is a giant high potential whitetail buck. And the way that I found this was actually, I looked over here and there was a couple does, and I thought, guarantee there's a buck in there, guarantee it. And I can't even see the rack on this buck, but all of a sudden we spotted a level 3, so we know he's for surely dime potential. The next question is which one is he? Because there's a lot of bucks over there, a ton of bucks over there. All right, so let me know if you could tell which one he is, because I surely can't. Oh my god, that's him. He is perfectly broadside right there at about 400 yards away, guys. 400 yards away. He's perfectly broadside. I just want to make sure we're recording. Okay, we are. Good. That's him right there. because I was definitely spotting him. And after we took the shot, the percentage stayed at 75 to 100. So I think we smoked the wrong deer, guys. Whoops. I don't know what happened, but what I do know is that guaranteed is our die potential whitetail buck laying right next to this tent. And he looks quite impressive. He's super wide. He's a giant. And he's gonna be a gold. A 252.9 gold. We double lunged him at 377 yards. So yeah, he wasn't quite big enough. And this is actually the second time that a level 3 whitetail didn't make diamond. But what's funny is that we've actually been getting lucky on level 2s making diamond. But a nice double lung shot at 377 yards out. I thought he was a little bit further, but nonetheless, we definitely smoked him and took down a beautiful, giant, almost diamond whitetail buck. So with that, I promise you that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the amazing time we had out there on St. Lawrence River fishing for some giant muskies. We finally did get our first trophy muskie ever, and not only that, we also got a 65-inch, actually I think it was a 62-inch, 50-pound muskie, which in my books, I definitely consider that as a trophy. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. He was a beauty, all right. He definitely was.